Good afternoon, YouTube America. What's going on noon here in the great Midwest? It's been a week or two since I've posted a video, and I thought I'd get one going. Uh, some days are better than others. There was a saying back when I was a younger man. You either eat the bear or the bear eats you. I guess there's a lot of variations on that theme. The you work yourself. An average person goes to work, has a job, has a home, goes and raises a family, buys nice things or tries to buy nice things and keeps up with the Joneses and stuff. That's part of what we're doing here. This is, my improved domain from where I was in my mother's station wagon, still considered, a transient or homeless in the state, which has its complications, which I've discussed in the past. I work for a company that I'm grateful for the chance, the opportunity they give me to work for them. At the same time, there are days when they thoroughly frustrate and flummox me. They have non-standard ways of dealing with things, and in their mind, it's the right way to do stuff because they've been doing this. They've been doing this since 1984. We know what we're doing, and yet you have to ask yourself: are you doing what you think you're doing right? Because it seems like to me you guys bumble along and bumble along, and when I first went to work for this company, the man who trained me tried to give me a heads up. He tried to warn me, and I took what he said with a grain of salt, of course, as being that he was quitting for a better in his a better job. And it gives you a straight 40 plus a week on a set schedule with days off and benefits and vacation time and all that goes along with it. Well, that's an improvement. There are jobs, and this company I work for is some of those. It falls in that category of what you might consider a hard luck company. They seems like to me that their glory days have long passed, and they're clinging on with their fingernails when maybe they should just shut the doors, sell off everything, and retire and enjoy their what they have left over. Uh, they simply cannot keep good help. And I didn't understand that at the beginning, and I'm getting a very good idea why. Several reasons come to mind. The erratic scheduling. You know, I use. I'm not complaining about the overtime. I need the overtime to pay bills. At the same time, with my wife now getting SSI, she has an income, and so it's not as necessary for me to literally work 24/7, 7 days a week. That's where I've been doing for the past 4 months, and it takes its toll. And the owners, well, they do a lot of good lip service about caring about it, but they don't care. At the end of the day, they really don't care because they care about their bottom line, what keeps them afloat. And hey, I get that they're trying to run a business. This is how they operate. This is also one of the reasons why they go through so much help. They literally cannot keep people for any length of time. I don't know what their record is, but I know that in the time I've been working for them, they've come at least a dozen people have come and gone, and some of them within days, some of them within a few weeks, but nobody stayed more than a month. The exception of myself and one other fella, and now there's a third guy who, he's in the same situation I came out of, and this is his opportunity to step up until he can get something better. So, is he here for a week or a month or a year? Your guess is as good as his. Uh, we go to some places and do some gnarly stuff. I go into restaurants that it just appalls me how these people, the back of the house, the condition of it. When I was a young man and when I worked in the pizza industry, I worked every aspect of it from starting out as a dishwasher up to manager, and we never allowed the back of the house to get the condition of some of these places that I've been in. It's so filthy, it's so nasty, and yet how the health department hasn't come in and shut these people down, it just boggles the mind. So part of the job is it's a fire and health and safety thing. You're going in to degrease a place. You're going to clean out the stuff that, if in the event of a fire, would potentially make that fire even more horrific and cost the lives of more people. In the past, they've big restaurant fires have killed hundreds of people because of the sheer level of grease that feeds the fire. So that, what this company does is very important to service, and yet at the same time, we go into places that I think the owners underbid. I think that the place should be done more often. They're so nasty, and even the short 6 months between cleanings does not seem to make a difference. Uh, Meanwhile, you work and you work and you work, and sometimes they don't get up to the standard somebody would like the job to be done. When you walk into a grease pit and you walk out with it bearing 95% cleaning, that other 5% should be a wash. But every now and then you'll get somebody, because these are small businesses. Most of these are restaurants, and any restaurant here will tell you it's a rough world to run a business, and they struggle, and especially the small ones, and having to pay $300-400 and up to have some people come in and clean your kitchen hood twice a year. Well, that's one of those expenses. It's like insurance. You hate paying for it because you don't have anything to show for it. I mean, you could pay thousands, tens of thousands of dollars in insurance over your lifetime and never once have a use for it until you need it. Then it pays off. If you never need it, well, that's why these insurance companies operate. It's how they bank. Lion's share of their people are never going to file a claim, and they're going to make money. Uh, Meanwhile, these small businesses, you'll get some owners that will come in, and they'll inspect, and they want every penny for they want every penny they invest to matter, and I understand that. And then there's the ones that are shisty, and they're obviously shifty and questionable. And we was at a place recently where I was called in. It was supposed to be my day off. Wasn't supposed to work. I didn't really want to work. The other fella had been working since 7 o'clock that morning. Drove all the way down to Missouri to do a job. The guy he was supposed to go with, the helper, didn't show, so he still went on down and did this two-man job by himself. Came back, then I came in, and the two of us went to go do this second place in the evening. And he was already beat. We get here, and it's a nasty grease pit. It's just nasty. And we're talking grease and old grease, and grease in places that you shouldn't have grease. And there are inaccessible areas. There are certain areas that you just really can't get to very well. And then there are areas that are difficult, but you can get to them if you're willing to spend enough time at it. And, I grant you that maybe we didn't spend as much time as we could have. Although I will challenge the owner, stating that he has a habit of yelling when you're at a job too long. He's also yelling when you're using too much supplies. So you can't win. And it eats at you. It starts to take its toll. Anyway, I took pictures of this particular job. Yeah, I got pictures. I could show them. I'm not gonna. No. Anyway, my before and after pictures show we did a really good job. And yes, there was a few spots, but this is also a nasty old place, and anything you do improves it. And we improved it considerably. Anyway, the owner or the manager, what he was trying to do is get a discount from the owner of the business. He didn't want to pay the full amount. So what I think he did is he took a picture of some areas prior to the job, and then tried to tell the owner that we didn't do those areas. Because when we went in 4 days later, myself, the other fellow that was there, and the owner to inspect, those areas were clean. The areas this man photoed and sent were clean. That vindicated what I and the other guy had been saying, that we did do what we were supposed to do. Now, there was a couple spots that could have been done better. I will agree with that, but that is not the area that this man brought up. The owner brought this up. Either way, to appease the owner, uh, the company's going to go back in and re-clean the hood at basically the company's expense. At the same time, And he wrote us up. Now, I became a bit upset about that. You're doing this to appease the damn customer. You're going to abuse your employees, which you have very few of, good employees, but you're not willing to go to bat for them because it's all about the bottom dollar. You have to keep this crappy customer's business happy so you don't lose this guy's contract. You know what? Some contracts are worth losing. That's just the facts there, Jack, and you know it. Some contracts are not worth having. And if you're going to sell out your employees, the good ones you have, the best ones you got, and I'm not saying I'm the best that there is, but I'm solid, I'm reliable. The other fellow, he literally falls off the ladders, almost breaks, works 10 hours with two cracked ribs. The man is crazy, but he keeps coming, and you're going to shit on both of us. I have a problem with that. I do. I really do. It shows the real value that you put towards us as employees. Makes me have to reevaluate my position here. I don't like this. I'm getting older. I don't like change. It's a job. It pays. I got a lot of hours. The hours are all over the place. It's harsh. It's hard. Excuse me. It's one of the reasons I'm always so tired. I worked until 2:30, almost 3 o'clock this morning, and turned around and had to go back to the shop at 7:45 to go do a job and go do a couple odds and ends. It took 2 hours. Now here I'm back trying to trying to work myself up to go back to bed. After I had about 3 hours of sleep, and I got to be back at work at 11 o'clock tonight. So I need to get some sleep in, and then go out to my mom's house, spend time with my wife and my mother, and do some things out the house. Be while I'm doing this thing because I'm still cheesed. That's been 3 days ago, and I'm still cheesed about it. It's bothering me. It's eating in here at the soul. You know, what do you do? What would you do? You tell me, what would you do in this situation? Am I wrong? Am I wrong to think that, that there should be a little bit of loyalty to the employee? Or, should we sell out everybody to appease one bad customer? Just, what's your opinion on that one?